Looking for a fantastic crochet stitch that you can commit to memory and not have to follow a pattern line by line? Watch today's video. I have your answer. I have been crocheting ever since I think first grade, and I love it. But when I come across a pattern that you don't have to read the pattern on the piece of paper line by line, that it is just basically logic, I love it. And that pattern is the basket weave. So today I'm going to show you the basket weave pattern, how you do it step by step, but how you commit it to memory, so once you get started, you have it figured out from there. So watch today's video. If you have any questions while you're doing it, please comment down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. For this dishcloth, I am going to use just regular cotton thread. Sometimes it's called peaches and cream, I believe, or sugars and cream, but it's just a thick cotton thread, and we are going to do the basket weave pattern. So to start with, I'm going to make my slip knot. I just do my index finger and my thumb and pull up the yarn, not the tail. And we have a little slip knot. I am going to use a size I crochet hook, so you can use something that matches the weight of your yarn. And for the basket weave, you need to chain in multiples of 8, and I want my dishcloth to be a square roughly 9 or 10 inches wide. So I am going to chain multiples of 8 till I get to the length I want. And for a chain, in case you're new to crocheting, you just put it over the hook, nice and loose, but not too loose on your foundation row. So there's 1, 2, 3. Okay, for my hook and my size thread, this works good. So I have done 32 chains. The first thing you need to do is we need to make the foundation row. The foundation row is just double crochets all the way across. In the 4th chain from the hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to put a double crochet. And a double crochet, you loop over your hook once, stick it into the chain, draw up your loop. So now you have 3 on the hook. You draw over the yarn and you pull through 2 of them, draw over the hook, and draw through the next 2. So continue that all the way across. Okay, nearing the end, I'm going to go ahead and put a double crochet in the last first chain, the last one on that row. So here we have your foundation row. So the next thing we do, we start on the basket weave pattern. So on the first row, we are going to chain 3. And that counts as 1 double crochet. And we're going to turn our project and we're going to skip the first stitch, and we are going to do a front post double crochet around the next 4. And a front post double crochet is actually one of my favorite stitches. So you loop over just like a normal double crochet, but instead of inserting your hook there, you go around the post of the double crochet below and continue and finish out your double crochet. So you loop over, go around the next post, draw up your loop, go through 2, go through 2. And we're going to do this 4 times. So there you have 4 front post double crochets. Now we go 4 back post double crochets. So just as the word implies, we go on the back of that post. So you're going, don't turn your project or anything, just kind of tilt it to the back. So we draw through 2, draw through 2. I'm going to go around that post on the back side of it, go through 2. Here we are going to the back again. Draw it up, go through 2, go through 2, and we need to do 1 more. So here we have the next stage of the basket weave pattern. So we have 4 front, 4 back, and as you could probably guess, we're going to go 4 front, back until we get to the end of the row. Okay, here is 4, 4, and 4, and you're left with your chain down here. They call it your turning chain, and we're going to put a double crochet in the top of that. So now your first row is complete. This is called the foundation row, your row of double crochets. So row number 1 is complete. To go to row number 2, we are going to chain 3. When you are creating the stitches from here on out, you are putting the post on the same side. So on the first row, if you did a back post and you turn it over, now it looks like a front post. So you do a front post. So here you have the opportunity to not have to follow a pattern. Put the post the same side to create the ridge. So basically you're doing opposite. If you did a back post crochet, you turn it over, it's raised. Now you're going to do a front post crochet. When you get down to the end of the row, put a double crochet in the end and we'll turn and do the next row. So here we are at the end of row 4, and I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to turn, and we want to keep the post on the same side. To keep it on the same side now, I'm going to do a back post. Now I want to keep it on the same side, so I do a front post. So you can visually see what I have going on. I'm going to continue this across, so now we're going to do back, front. That's the end of the second row of this cluster. Again, chain 3. And I want to keep the post on the same side for one more row, so I'm going to do front and then follow up with 4 back. I went ahead and continued the pattern so you could see the big picture. You continue the pattern, it's 4 rows, but you can physically see you're done when you have 3 horizontal rows. So totally my favorite pattern for not having to follow a pattern line by line. You can just go with it. And here I am at the end, and I want to frame this with a nice border. So at the end here, I'm going to chain 3. And I'm going to go back in the direction that I just came from, and not in the first hook or the first stitch, but in the second. I'm going to double crochet all the way around. And so this will just give it a frame. When you get to the corner, we are going to do 1 for that side of the project. We're going to do 3 for the corner. So there's 2 and 3. And now I'm going to do 1 for this side. So on the corner, we are putting 5 stitches. 1 for this side, 3 for the corner, and 1 for the next side. And so that should lay down nice. When you turn the project, now you're working in the end of the rows, and you're just going to have to space out your double crochets evenly. So there's 1 there. I'll put 1 there, and there, and then you just kind of look back. You don't want to get too many and it gets to be curly, and you don't want it to be too loose to make it look wimpy. So let me stop here and see if we like this look. Okay, that seems to be laying pretty good, so I'm just going to evenly space out my double crochets, do the extra stitches in each corner, and then we'll be done. So here it is, all done. The Basketweave dishcloth. I am going to plan on making many of these to go into little gifts for my Bible study table. Love them. Very fast, very easy, because you're not having to follow a pattern line by line. If you have any questions when you're making yours, please ask down below. But as always, thank you for watching DIY on the House.